119 pounds, he is the Ring of Honor World Champion, Jerry Lynn.
Handshake between champion and challenger as Jerry Lynn is set to put the Ring of Honor World title on the line against that young knockout kid, Chris Hero, in our main event here in Boston.
And we could be one rolling elbow away from a new ROH World Champion in Chris Hero.
The man who says he concusses with his kicks and he KOs with his elbows.
Yes, he does. It's a great opportunity for Chris Hero this evening, going for the world title once again, for the first time against Jerry Lynn, coming into this matchup as the champion.
Chris Hero had an opportunity to wrestle for the world title against Nigel McGuinness and came very, very close to becoming the Ring of Honor World Champion in that matchup. And we'll see if he has better luck here this evening in Boston as Jerry Lynn grabs a waistlock.
Chris Hero's very first match in Ring of Honor was for the world title against Bryan Danielson at Hell Freezes Over. It's championship material, man. It's just a matter of time. He's held the world tag team titles in the past. And Chris Hero, I believe that he is a future world champion. Is tonight the night? That is the big question.
Got a face lock applied by Jerry Lynn. Hero looking for an escape. Flips up and over and gets his feet on the second rope. Forcing Lynn to break the hold. Shane Hagedorn at ringside.
Yes, he is.
Finally got away from Kevin Steen.
Good for Shane Hagedorn. Kevin Steen was running around attacking people. Hagedorn did nothing to Kevin Steen tonight. It's up for it's ancient history, man.
This lock by Chris Hero with a decided height advantage on Jerry Lynn.
Obviously, Jerry Lynn with the experience advantage and the strength advantage in this matchup, but Chris Hero has learned various styles of wrestling, traveled the globe, trained in the dojo with Boris and Noah in Japan, spent a great deal of time wrestling throughout Europe, mastering the British wrestling style. He's a versatile competitor. Can do almost any style of professional wrestling and adapt to it. Jerry Lynn, though he has had a full career and has held titles all over the globe, he himself pretty much wrestles his style that he has wrestled for several years now, for several decades now, as a matter of fact. Hasn't really evolved his style to the level that a Chris Hero has. Because you look at Chris Hero from 10 years ago, compare him to the Chris Hero today, it's completely different style.
Well, I'm pretty sure that if you look at the Jerry Lynn from 20 years ago, you're not going to see the same Jerry Lynn who's standing there as the world champion right now either.
I mean, he's not the same level of competitor because he has the years of experience and ring time under his belt. But in terms of his moveset, his style of wrestling, he hasn't drastically changed the way that he goes about his matches. Whereas Chris Hero, after spending all that time wrestling in Europe, really added the British influence to his style, and it really drastically changed the way that he wrestled.
Waistlock by Hero. Full-on dragon twist. Goes for that elbow one more time and misses. Roaring elbow fake right there by Jerry Lynn, trying to get in the head of Chris Hero.
Jerry Lynn isn't the master of the rolling elbow. Chris Hero is. He's knocked people out, and tonight it is his goal to do that to the world champion and take the title belt home. He's not getting in Chris Hero's head tonight.
Knuckle lock by Hero and Lynn. quickly, Jerry Lynn kicks away one of the hands and grabs the hammerlock right into a side headlock. Really cranking down on the head of Chris Hero. Long shot. Quick reversal of the headlock. Now grabbed by Hero.
Do you have a prediction, Lenny Leonard, as to how long the championship reign of Jerry Lynn is going to last, given his age? And, I mean, he is a great athlete. That's why he won the world title. But, you know, the years start to catch up with you after a while.
Why do you continually ask me for predictions? Like I'm Nostradamus. I have no idea how long Jerry Lynn is going to hold the world title. He's going to hold it until a better man beats him. That's my prediction.
Is tonight the night? Is Chris Hero the better man?
It could be. Chris Hero could very well be the man that takes the world title from Jerry Lynn.
You're a broadcast journalist, much like myself and Kyle Durden.
I'm a broadcast journalist, nothing like yourself and Kyle Durden. Well, that's another conversation.
Yeah, we actually make predictions from time to time. Not predict.
You wager. You don't make predictions, you bet.
Sometimes. And I predict that Chris Hero will be world champion, and it might be tonight.
So you're predicting that he might win tonight?
Yes, that's right.
That's like predicting that it might rain tonight. That's not really a prediction.
He's going to win the world title. It may be this evening. But he will be world champion one day, mark my words.
Man of your convictions to the very end.
Mark my words. Championship caliber Chris Hero. Much more so than Tyler Black.
Tyler Black, who was originally supposed to be in this matchup, but suffered a neck injury a couple of weeks back. Advised by doctors to take some time off, and he is home recuperating this evening, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Look forward to seeing him back in Ring of Honor competition in a few weeks.
He injured his neck, carrying the weight of all the fans' expectations of him being a future world champion. Jerry Lynn face first into the turnbuckle.
Whip reverse by Lynn. It's Hero into the buckle. Jerry Lynn looking for that bulldog out of the corner. Hero blocked, but another nice counter right there by Lynn into a cross body and a near fall. And an arm drag takes Hero off his feet.
Now, prior to Jerry Lynn winning the world title from Nigel McGuinness, while you were out sick, I asked fill-in the living legend Larry Zbyszko for his opinion as to whether or not Jerry Lynn, at his age, could become world champion. Of course, Zbyszko pointed out that he beat the crap out of Scott Hall in WCW when he was 47, but he didn't win the WCW championship at that point in time in his career. Lynn has actually done it. He has won the world title, but can he have a lengthy reign like someone such as Bryan Danielson or like Nigel McGuinness had as world champion?
In all honesty, I know I was being facetious when you asked me that question before. Is another rolling elbow attempt blocked, but Lynn connects with his, and this one might be over.
No, Hero able to kick out.
In all seriousness, I would think the odds of a lengthy title reign by Jerry Lynn are slim, if only because at some point, and we've seen it with champion after champion, and Shane Hagedorn does not want to put his hands on Jerry Lynn. We've seen it so often here in Ring of Honor as Hero makes the most of the opportunity given to him by Shane Hagedorn to get the jump on Jerry Lynn. But sooner or later, the style of wrestling that goes on here in Ring of Honor, the wear and tear, the travel and defending the title, and just the pressure of being the man who has this company on his back, has invariably gotten to just about everyone who's held the Ring of Honor World title. And most of those competitors, well, all of those competitors were much younger men than Jerry Lynn, and guys with a lot less miles on their body than a Jerry Lynn. So just from that standpoint, you would have to think the odds are against a lengthy title reign. But by that same token, the odds of Jerry Lynn winning the world title at all were pretty slim, and he's bucked those odds. So you never know with an athlete the caliber of Jerry Lynn what he's capable of doing, because he's made a career of late of proving people wrong when it comes to saying what he can and cannot do.
What it all comes down to is tonight, there's no real safe prediction as to whether or not it will be Lynn or Hero walking out of the building as the world champion. Because as you said, Jerry Lynn, a man of his age, with all those miles on his body of wear and tear for professional wrestling, you never know how long his title reign is going to last. And a young athlete like Chris Hero, driving down with all of his body weight on top of the world champion, it could be the night for Chris Hero to have his hand raised and that belt around his waist.
Double count applied on Hero and Lynn by referee Todd Sinclair. Hero has been punishing Jerry Lynn on the outside. Throws him under the bottom rope to break the count.
The damage was done, and now Hero with the cover.
Fast enough for the liking of Shane Hagedorn, but 2 nonetheless as Hero now stomping on the fingers of the world champion.
60 minutes to destroy you, Jerry Lynn. 60 minutes.
Chop to the chest. Stomp to the head as Hero trying to get inside the head of Jerry Lynn here.
Where you at? Where you at, Jerry Lynn?
Lynn firing back. Forearm shot. Hero right back with one of his own. Look at that right hand. Connor roll blocked. Hot shot by Hero.
Here he comes! Flash kick off the ropes. Cover! Speed it up, Sinclair.
That's how quick you can end, Hero.
Once again, only 2 as Hero neglected to hook the leg. Confident look on the face of that young knockout kid, Chris Hero. Goes to the eyes of Jerry Lynn in the corner. Mocking the fans in Boston who are urging the champion on.
Almost more so than anyone who has previously held the world title, with each and every title defense for Jerry Lynn. Who's going to walk out with the victory each night is always going to be more and more in doubt. You know, we've seen dominant world champions. You saw Takeshi Morishima. He slowly started to weaken during his title reign. Nigel McGuinness, you know, the wear and tear on his body, couldn't physically continue to defend the world championship due to those 2 torn biceps. But, you know, with Jerry Lynn, because of his age, it's always a pick-em as to whether he or the challenger, every time he steps in the ring with the title on the line, is going to walk out with the belt. And it makes each world title match all the more exciting to watch.
A quick elbow strike right there from Hero, trying to grab the leg and only, again, able to get 2. Hero getting a little bit frustrated perhaps here that he has not been able to put away Jerry Lynn.
If you can't breathe.
Senton.
He's just softening him up and trying to get him weakened enough to have him in position to hit the rolling elbow full force and knock Jerry Lynn out. This is all just trying to take away the energy of the veteran.
And down across the rib cage. Lateral press. And again, only able to get a 2 count. Yes, that is the world champion.
It's the man that Chris Hero is bound to take this title from this evening here in Boston. He is determined, as Lynn was trying to fight back, but he's got him in the clinch.
It's a very elementary maneuver, but a smart one on the part of Hero, given his height and size advantage, forcing Jerry Lynn's head down and making him carry all of his weight. Again, just trying to sap the strength out of Jerry Lynn, who's able to, not once but twice, take Hero off his feet with a shoulder tackle. A leaping clothesline does as well, and perhaps a second win for the world champ.
He's getting a burst of adrenaline here against Hero. How about a reversal of the whip?
I don't think so.
Inverted DDT, great counter by Lynn. Only 2, Sinclair a little bit out of position there, and that may have just cost Jerry Lynn a victory. Took an extra split second for the referee to get in position. And Chris Hero able to kick out as a result.
And they're going to follow up here. But he gets sent into the buckle.
Foot into the face. Oh, Chris Hero. Hurricane run off the second, and Hero rolls under the bottom rope smartly. Out to the floor to try and buy some time.
He can't be covered out on the floor, and he can confer with Shane Hagedorn.
Hagedorn throwing Chris Hero out of the way into safety.
He protected him, and Hero caught Jerry Lynn leaping off the apron. What strength!
And drives him into the barricade. Both men crashing into the steel. It looks like Jerry Lynn coming out on the worst end of that exchange.
Yeah, midsection first, right into the barricade he went.
Hagedorn telling him it's perhaps time to go for the rolling elbow. He's getting a running start.
Great balance. Oh!
Thrown into the crowd by Jerry Lynn. Hero ends up in the fourth row.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
And the champion going out after him.
Chris Hero needs to bring the action back into the ring himself if he wants to win the world title. Double countout doesn't really matter to Jerry Lynn. He'll still retain the title. But Hero rolling underneath the bottom rope back inside the ring where he can win the belt.
Glancing blow with that back elbow as Jerry Lynn was trying to get between the ropes.
Well, the damage was done to Hero out in the crowd. He did what it takes to get the action back in the ring.
Lynn lands on his feet off the ropes. Hero follows him in with the elbow.
We see the Liger Bomb from Hero. Lynn trying to block.
Down to a knee. Instead runs into the opposite corner. Blockbuster off the second. Cover! Only two.
Hagedorn thought that was it. And Chris Hero as well. Can't lose his focus though. He's got Lynn in a weakened position. Needs to go for the rolling elbow.
Hagedorn urging Chris Hero on as both men back to their feet in their corner. Hero charges, but it's Lynn beating him to the punch with the elbow. Traps the head. Tornado DDT blocked. Rolling elbow! That's it! New champion! Oh! Less than half a count.
One more. Just hit one more, Hero. Come on. Stay focused.
Perhaps it's time for the loaded elbow pad.
There is no loaded elbow pad. There is the green elbow pad that Mitsuharu Misawa handed down to Hero when he taught him how to most effectively throw the rolling elbow, but it is not loaded. So good luck. Good luck, Charlie.
Jerry Lynn is in big trouble here. Hero taking his time. In the process, winning over some of the fans here in Boston. Recognize they may be witnessing something special here.
He might be thinking about Lynn's own cradle pile driver.
Move to the midsection. Cradle pile driver blocked. Sunset flip. No. Both men on their feet. Up on the shoulders. TKO. Not enough to keep down Chris Hero.
Hero wants to be world champion. He's going to do everything in his power to stay in this contest.
Another double count applied by Todd Sinclair. Concerned look on Shane Hagedorn's face as he shouts encouragement to Chris Hero in the corner. To the midsection by Lynn. Hero puts on the brakes. Rolling elbow! Liger Bomb. That's it! Cover! Oh!
2 3/4 for Chris Hero right there. One more. He just needs to hit it the right angle. That elbow to knock out his opponent, to knock out Jerry Lynn and take the world title. Here it comes.
Oh, Lynn just exhausted, fell through the ropes. Looked like Hero was going to go for the rolling elbow. Threw him into the ropes and just exhaustion on Jerry Lynn's part. He fell right between the top and the second rope and collapsed on the apron. So Hero's going to drag him back to his feet. Back fist.
Smothers style. Combination of elbow strikes. Signature of Chris Hero.
Shot to the midsection by Lynn. Both men up on the turnbuckles. Dangerous position here. Very. Hurricane Run on the floor.
Shane Agador trying to encourage Chris Hero to get back to his feet as Sinclair administers the double count.
Who is going to make it back to their feet and back into the ring first? It's Jerry Lynn up first. Lynn not content to win this match by countout. Throws Hero on the bottom rope to break Todd Sinclair's count. And then he too back inside the ring.
Hero's not moving. He needs to get back up and fight. Come on, Hero. Jerry Lynn not even going for a cover right there. That could cost him in the long run.
He wants to finish him off with a cradle pile driver. He's got him up. Hero trying to block. Regular pile driver. And that hesitation by Lynn before executing the maneuver may have just cost him the win.
Very, very true. When you are the world champion, you need to make sure that you hold on to that belt and you have your opponent down after a hurricane rana to the floor. You get him back inside the ring, you go for a cover right away.
Chris Hero lifeless in the hands of the world champion Jerry Lynn.
He may be lifeless, but he's still kicking out.
Lynn going for another one, and Hero can't even stand. Cover! No!
Instinctively, he's kicking out. Chris Hero refuses to lose this match. It is his destiny to be Ring of Honor World Champion.
Things are not looking good here for Chris Hero. Another pile driver attempt, no. Boot to the gut. The roll up. Oh!
So close, but not close enough.
What does Jerry Lynn have to do to finish off Chris Hero? Hanging on the apron, Lynn sees him.
He was just trying to give advice to Chris Hero. Ooh, and that little bit of distraction allowed Hero to hit that elbow.
Hagger's got the foot. But Lynn still got the shoulder off the canvas.
And once again, the referee distracted, and the good luck charm.
The loaded elbow pad of Chris Hero.
So you say. It's the lucky green elbow pad.
Small package. Only two. Lynn's got the elbow pad. But there's the rolling elbow. It might only take one more. Blocked. Duck under. Got him up. Cradle pile driver. Jerry Lynn retains the world title.
Here is your winner and still Ring of Honor World Champion, Jerry Lynn.
These two men hit each other with everything in their arsenal, but Jerry Lynn is going to leave Boston still the world champion. Fans, we want to thank you for joining us here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow in Edison, New Jersey. For Dave Prazak, I'm Lenny Leonard. Good night, everyone.
You know, when I got into this sport, I got into it not knowing where it would take me. But one thing I did, above all else, was put my all into it. I sacrificed everything possible. And I always tell the younger guys, you gotta love this to survive in it. Because if you don't, it'll chew you up and spit you out. In fact, you have to be a little off center to love this. And I knew when I won this title, when I became the Ring of Honor champion, it wasn't going to be any easier. In fact, I knew it was going to get harder. And it damn sure has. Because everyone who takes this sport seriously wants this belt. This is the wrestler's most coveted belt on the face of the earth. And I've shown every night that I step into this ring that I will do whatever it takes to keep it. So whether you love me or whether you don't love me and you want to boo me, you go right ahead and boo me. As I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying it. At the end of the night, I will prove you wrong, and you will not deny that I give 150%. That's all.